and hit that subscribe button and pound that bell. Yeah! Dean Family Acres. So I hadn't done a video recently on the diesel van, so I'm gonna just do a recap of it a little bit, just kind of show you just condition, see if it'll fire up, and then we got to make some decisions on this thing. Let's see if we can get this thing to fire up. I usually hit the glow plugs twice, especially when it's been a little while since we fired it up. Considering I hadn't started in probably a month or 3. So this is it with the doors shut and just idling. Pretty much no insulation additional. The only thing we have are some conversion van door panels, conversion van front seats. I did make sure that the dog house is sealed really well. Gauges. My boost gauge does not like to function for some reason, so there we go. So mileage on this generation, basically the OBS trucks and vans with this style dash, they hit 400,000, they reset back to 300. So mine's done that once for sure. I don't know if it might have done it more than once. I really didn't know that until I went to get it titled and noticed that when I ran a report on it that it had different mileages, and that was the explanation I kind of found by searching online. If any of y'all ever heard about this conversion or not, but this is actually out of a Tahoe or an Escalade. It is an auto dimming mirror. It will also tell compass and temperature. And basically all you do is pull the rear view mirror, and then you pull a sensor that is underneath the hood, and you just run your wiring. So I'll just have to run my wiring for that, but I've already got the mirror there, got the sensor in the shop. Again, not much going on here. I have a RB dinette set up that I plan to put over rear wheel wells. And then I plan for that to be in the back. And then right here where the bench is, I'm hoping that I can find a set of buckets. If not, then we can always use the bench until that time. But I've got swivels, I've got 4 swivels, so we can swivel both the front and the second row. And here's a window that I installed. No leaks that I can tell. I also put in the one tilt-out window here. When I bought the van, there were no windows in the back, so bought a conversion van and swapped everything over. I've got tilt-out windows for everything on the back side back here, just haven't installed those yet. Rust free, you can kind of see no rust at all on this van. The only somewhat rust is some surface rust, as you can see. Most people would call that no rust. That's not. And then there's the exhaust all the way. You can see in a video, and I'm gonna link to the end, that has older footage from about 6 years ago. I'm gonna let you see what the downpipe looks like. That's some of the only damage right here in the rocker. It looks like somebody probably loaded up some stuff and crunched it there, as well as up here. That's the only spot. Whole van that really has any damage. Everything else is kind of just age. It is a 95. The parts van that I got those doors and stuff from was a 94. So you can see, got a little bit of a project on our hands. I've had this for about 6 or 7 years, and if you kind of paid attention to mileage, I've driven about 700 miles, which is kind of sad. It's always been kind of one of those dreams. I wanted to build my own sportsmobile type camper van. I'd love it to be 4-wheel drive. From a budget perspective, that's probably not going to happen. So I'm open to, it definitely needs a little bit of lift, that kind of thing. I'm kind of at a crossroads about what to do, and we're kind of trying to decide that now, because we've got another van as well that we drive pretty much every day. And just trying to decide what our best option is, and using what we've been blessed with wisely. Basically, I got too many vehicles, and we got a few, and we need to clear out a little bit. So that's what we're going to be trying to do, is just decide, narrow down the fleet a little bit, so that maybe we can actually get some of these that are in the fleet going, or let someone else enjoy them. So this is a 95 Powerstroke diesel 7.3 extended body. It was a complete cargo van, no windows at all when I bought it. It was a Worth company van, basically, and they delivered parts and stuff. There were apparently that's like a bolt and nut and just supplier, and there were bolts and nuts and all kinds of stuff in here when I cleaned it out. But that's what this was, and I've slowly worked on it, but then I'll kind of go through patches where I got other things going on that I really need to get done. And honestly, I'm just too thrifty to pay somebody to do stuff, which being thrifty is fine, but you kind of have to realize that might mean that you don't get to enjoy some things as much because you aren't willing to pay to get things done. And so it's just things I've learned. I'm all about being thrifty, but you kind of have to think through what you want to do and what your options are. Because y'all seen a few boats that I've gotten. I didn't pay hardly anything for any of them, but I want to get one of them on the water. And that's going to mean buckling down, getting some of this stuff done, and maybe even paying somebody to help me out, or doing some bartering, that kind of thing, trading out some stuff. So the issue that I've had, and the reason I hadn't driven it a whole lot, is I've gotten a lot of work done to it with some help, and I've paid somebody to help me, but I think there's something up with the transmission, and the overdrive light will blink on, it'll shift really hard, so I just don't drive it hardly at all. And I know it's worse for something to sit, but I also don't want to blow up the transmission. And I've been to the point in probably the last 4 years of it that, am I going to pay somebody to rebuild the transmission? Am I going to take it to a shop and make sure it's not just the sensor? Or what am I going to do? And I've just got to make that decision and decide what is our best option with that, and what do we need to do. It's a toss-up, because you get into that and you're like, okay, well, I could pick up a E40D is the kind of transmission it is. I could pick up one of those that has a transfer case on it and do a front swap for four-wheel drive. Yeah, I can, but will I finish this thing in the next decade? So something like UJoint, which was my dream originally, UJoint Offroad, if you hadn't seen them, check them out. I'll link them actually down here in the description. Incredible stuff, but he's even got to the point now where he's basically just doing conversions and selling conversion kits. He no longer sells parts because he's gotten so popular. Don't blame him. Just he's figured out, hey, this is where I make my profit and this is where I need to be, and that's what he's doing. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Tech Designs is another option for two-wheel drive, and then there's another guy, MG something works, I always forget the name, who does a coil spring conversion with Super Duty parts, kind of like UJoint, but UJoint does leaf springs. This guy does coil springs. I've seen several builds of those, and they say as long as you don't get crazy with the lift, this thing, it'll drive like a brand new Ford truck. So, what do you do? I really think this thing would be incredible if we built it. I just don't know that I want to put 10 plus grand into this van to get it where I want it. Now, when I originally calculated up how much it was going to cost me, I figured for probably 6 to 7 grand, I probably could get it exactly where I wanted it. And that's still probably true depending on what the deal is with the transmission. If I can find a good used transmission, someone, just wanted to, their engine blew up or whatever, then I probably can still stay within that. If not, and I have to get it built, yeah, it's gonna cost. And then it's the debate of, okay, do you decide to go and start, going four-wheel drive, or what do you do? Will I really use four-wheel drive? Well, no, but from a resale perspective, I'll use four-wheel drive in times, but in reality, probably two-wheel drive with a selectable locker or something, and this thing on 33s or 34s, it'd be pretty incredible. Again, I'm in upstate South Carolina. This isn't like you're in Wyoming and you see a sportsmobile everywhere you go. They don't exist around here. There just aren't that many. So trying to decide what to do with that, and I always like unique vehicles. That's kind of one reason that I bought the diesel van, but then it kind of ended up being, hey, how far down this rabbit hole am I going to go, and how long is it going to be? That's when we bought a 2011 E350 with a 5.4 about 3 years ago, and it's worked incredible. We've probably put about 40 to 50,000 miles on it, and it's been great. Hardly any issues at all. So I love the platform. I love what it is. This is an extended body. The other van we have is a regular body, so a RB, and this would hold even more. We wouldn't have to worry about the back seat being out in regards to hauling stuff like we do in the 12 passenger. Just want to be able to customize whatever we end up doing. So appreciate you guys following along. Sorry I'm rambling. There's a lot of info on this van. If you guys have questions, please comment below. Happy to answer those questions for you, and just follow along. If you want to see a build, let me know. I'm all about following it. We got several different projects around here, like I've mentioned, and we'll go from there. Maybe we can actually see which ones we want to get done first and how we want to prioritize some of that. Some of that has to definitely has to do with just finances. But there's ways they'll be able to do that. And, you know, maybe we want to figure out a way to get some of that done, and we'd love some sponsors. That'd be incredible. No, I'm not that big yet, but thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys having some good fun. I wish you'd give us a big thumbs up, and also if you hadn't subscribed, subscribe. Please share the videos. That helps a ton. I know I share them a little bit, and when they get out there, it seems like viewership goes up. But if a couple people would share, and a couple more people would share, it'd really get out and just help more people. We all learn together and all have a great time. And don't forget, if you subscribe, you gotta do what? That's right, pound that bell like Mike Tyson. Y'all have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. First start up. Being thrifty's fine, but you kind of have to realize that might mean that you don't get to enjoy some things as much because you aren't willing to pay to get things done. Basically, I got too many vehicles. Definitely did not realize I had left the window cracked over here. I think I got vent shades.